begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 3rd meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. My name is Shelley Bueller, and I have the pleasure of serving as chair of the commission, alongside my colleagues, Commissioner Bob Archer.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Kevin Cook. Good morning. Probably a few people need a little bit more coffee. If you stayed up late and watched the Cubs win last night, I did. And so it was a fun time and watching history, as Tim said. So, Madam Clerk, first item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there questions on the 3 items?
I do not have any questions. I would move for their approval.
So motion by Commissioner Cook.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one voucher report dated November the 2nd, 2016. Total amount of vouchers, $915,694.39. Significant items include holding accounts of $136,000 and special public works project, which was the frontage road from Northwest Docking to Northwest Valencia Road at $301,000. I've reviewed the vouchers. Questions have been answered, and I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Thank you. There's motion to approve. Are there questions?
I do not have any. I'd second.
Motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, there are no correction orders, and we will possibly have correction orders again next week.
Okay.
Yesterday, I certified the tax roll to the county treasurer, so we have to wait a little bit during that time period. So we certified $248,571,977.62 for all taxes, cumulatively aggregate of all taxes for the whole county. I mean, every entity in the county. So,
Wow.
I'm sure they'll all get paid.
Okay.
Item A3, consider resolution number 2016-73, authorizing the cereal malt beverage license to John's Food Center located at 5812 South Topeka Boulevard. And Commissioners, this is an annual event of our cereal malt. This is the first of our cereal malt beverages, and it has been reviewed by the counselor. There are no delinquent taxes, and all of the appropriate parties, KBI and the township, have been notified, and it passed its health inspection. So we are just asking your approval of the resolution.
Thank you. Are there questions?
I'll move to adopt the resolution.
So motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item B, corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to award the bid of Ben Schreiner Construction to replace the concrete in front of the Adult Detention Center at a cost of $37,010.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. About a month ago, the Board of Commissioners approved our agency to go out for bids and solicit bids for the front apron of the Shawnee County Department of Corrections, front of the Adult Detention Center, for the much-needed repair to the concrete. We had a lot of repairs that needed to be done. We went out. We met with Betty. We met with Bill regarding the bids that were solicited that came back through. We looked at the lowest responsive bid, those who met all the mandatory requirements that we needed, and we would like to go with Ben Schreiner Construction for that. I did meet again with Bill personally regarding this, and he was in favor of this selection as well after we had a discussion. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thanks, Brian. Any questions on the request?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Brian, Ben Schreiner is a reputable company. I've worked with them in the past. I think that they do excellent work, but I note that they are not the lowest bidder.
Exactly.
So can you talk for just a minute about the difference between being the lowest bidder versus the most responsive bidder?
Yes, we had, in our bids, we had mandatory meetings regarding site visits to go through and actually see the plans, the layouts, and the grades and the things that we needed for that. The lowest bid, company that bid did not show up to the mandatory meeting, thus was not able to provide us and get an idea of, look, they just submitted a bid, and so they did not show up. The other groups did show up and were responsible, and while they Ben Schreiner's company was not the lowest. They were the most responsive to me, meaning that the quality, local, have done previous business with us, and also showed up and met all the mandatory requirements that were needed.
And again, Madam Chair, noting, I found Ben Schreiner's company to be very reputable, high quality in the community.
And they also did, they were part of our major upgrade with the kitchens as well, and did excellent work.
I would move for approval to accept the bid for the replacement of the front entry concrete.
So motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. I do want to give the opportunity, if there's anyone in the audience wanting to speak on this item, come to the podium at this time. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Item C, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 323-2016 with the Northeast Kansas Homeland Security Council to accept external portable drives for use by Emergency Management and partners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols from Emergency Management. It's pretty much straightforward. It's a regional asset that we have control of and to use when the need arises.
Thanks, Dusty. Is there a motion or questions?
I would
Move to approve the contract.
So motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item C2, acknowledge receipt of the Hazardous Materials Response Plan for review with approval on November 7th, 2016.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols again. This is the continuance of the grant that we received earlier in the year. We bidded it out. The contractor has finished the draft of the plan. We've been perusing over it probably for the last 2 months and did have some feedback from some of our partners and stakeholders in that plan. We think we got it to the point where it's ready for approval. Counselor's office has been working with us to get it all worded just right, and it's right there.
So Dusty, this is just acknowledging receipt today, but then also then putting it back on the agenda for the 7th.
That's
so
correct.
that the public, again, will have one more chance to review.
That's correct.
Correct. Thanks. Are there questions? I'll move to acknowledge receipt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Item D, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, discussion and consideration of a fee proposal for use of the Garfield Community Center by the Topeka Golden Gloves, Inc.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. This is items a little different than most of the items that come down here to the County Commission. I just want to take you back real briefly through some history on this. Since we've implemented the master plan and these sustainability components that are outlined in there, we've begun doing business quite a bit different. One of the first steps that when we work with one of these partners is to have a public engagement session. We held that in the Garfield Center back in July, and we had a good turnout from the neighborhoods over there. It was a great process because they got a chance to meet the Golden Gloves, the organizers of the Golden Gloves, even a couple of the participants, and they made a great showing, but also gave us the opportunity to quell any of the rumors that were being spread around the or around the neighborhoods that the building was going to close or some of those type of things, which it's not. We were following that meeting, we began meeting with the representatives of the Topeka Golden Gloves. One of the first things we did was we created a cost recovery policy back in 2015. Again, to promote the sustainability of Parks and Recreation and the services we provide, staff, and Susan Hensler, who is here, was key in helping develop that. Identifying what the true cost to run these facilities and run these programs were, so we could make good financial sound decisions as we move forward on that. Well, we visited with them. We've agreed with all of the terms for the Golden Gloves to be a partner with us and move into the Garfield Center, except for the price. I don't believe that my staff has the authority or the jurisdiction to go below what the costs are on getting them in there. With that being said, I'll stand for any questions.
Thanks, John. Questions? Commissioner Cook?
John, we don't have a full cost recovery for all of our programs, though, right? There are some programs that won't hit a 100% if they have a significant impact and meet needs to our community.
There is another policy that I brought down here to the commissioners a while back that was, I'm trying to remember how it was called, but it helped those people, it removed the barriers for people to participate in our programs. Not all programs have to have 100% cost recovery. There are a couple of those that do not do that, but my intention is to always come down to the commissioners in those type of situations.
And I think that's a very good policy. I think that, as we've changed from the master plan really kind of changed how we look and do business for the county when it comes to parks and recreation. And I think that the Golden Gloves add a lot of significant value to the community, also to the Garfield Community Center and reaching at-risk youth. And so I think this is a good program. I'm concerned with the amount per year, especially considering that the Golden Gloves have been without a home since the closing of the Abbott Community Center. And it's going to take them probably a little bit of time to get back up to speed. I know that we do have some representatives from Golden Gloves here today, and I don't want to not allow them the opportunity to talk, but if this is something that may be beyond what they see as being able to start up their first year, I understand they've made some applications in the community for getting their programs up and running. Perhaps this might be an item that we want to defer, maybe allow a little bit more discussion between Parks and Rec, Golden Gloves, and community members to see what we might be able to do to come up with allowing them to get started. Commissioners?
John, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that following that public engagement session we had, there was a lot of excitement up there, and there was a lot of, even some kids who thought were concerned that they were going to lose their basketball court. As it started, pretty soon, as we saw a young 17-year-old girl who was one of the best female boxers in this part of the country, was putting on a demonstration. I saw all of the faces up against the glass wall, so I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't some 8 or 10 kids right there would be interested in starting boxing.
Commissioner Archer?
I agree with Commissioner Cook. We should defer consideration of this, but what I'd like to see is a process where we make sure we're consistent when we subsidize activities in the community. That's only fair to everybody.
Okay.
So I would support your deferral and ask for a systematic process that, like I say, is fair to everyone in the community. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I agree. The fairness issue is what I would want to be most concerned about. Is there a time when you would want to defer? We'll hear from those in the audience today, but
Perhaps maybe the 17th. That gives us 2 weeks to.
we are at Canvas. for
We're
the
canvassers on that.
Yeah,
It's hard to say.
we're canvassing that
How about
day.
the 21st? That puts us before Thanksgiving.
We are out
We're up.
that day
Yes,
as
well,
well.
my
The
goodness.
28th
We're out
and
on
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
is the
also.
24th.
The 28th then. How about that? Third attempt.
I'll second that.
Okay. There's a motion to defer this item until the 28th of November. There's a second by Commissioner Archer. And before we vote on it, let's at least, anyone wanting to speak on this item, please come up to the podium and just state your name, and then you can make your comments. Or you can wait until the 28th. It's up to you.
The only thing I might like to add before you end this item is that hopefully this meeting maybe catch some attention, because this is a great program, and it shouldn't all fall on the taxpayers to help offset some of those costs. Maybe there's some private individuals or private companies out there that might like to get involved to see a good, valuable program for at-risk youth.
Good point. Thank you, John. Anyone wanting to speak on this item today, then? All right. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We will have this item on our agenda, at the top of the agenda, under unfinished business on the 28th. Next item, please.
Item D2, consider approval of a sole source request for repairs to an aerial lift truck used for tree maintenance, overhead light replacement, and repairs and other work that require an aerial lift at an estimated cost of $13,882.85.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Commissioners. Terry Birtles, Parks and Recreation. Here to ask for approval for a sole source repair to an aerial lift truck. The aerial lift truck is an Altech, and the sole source would be the Altech manufacturing plant in St. Joseph, Missouri. The aerial lift truck's used for things like tree trimming, light replacement, and any other type of work we have to do off the ground. Has a working height of up to 50 feet, and major repairs like this are best done by certified mechanics for that type of equipment. I discussed it with Ms. Griner, and she has concurred on the sole source. So we're asking for your approval for that sole source.
Great, thank you, Terry. Any questions from the commission?
I do not. I would move for approval of the request.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Terry.
Item D3, consider authorization and execution of contract C324-2016 with Quick Scores LLC for software used to generate sports team schedules and provide web hosting for the Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Sports Organization at a cost of $4,500 per year for 3 years.
Good morning, Commissioner. Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. This is a contract we've had before with Quick Scores, and basically this computer deal that we use throughout to do all this type of stuff of scheduling and things works out great for umpires, league reps get on there. It's a wonderful product that we have. So I'll be happy to answer any other questions you might have on that.
Don't have any questions.
I'll move to approve the contract.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks.
Item E, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2016-74, authorizing the placement and maintenance of temporary no parking signs along Northwest Dundee Lane in Soldier Township for the duration of the emergency culvert replacement project on Northwest Fielding Road.
Good morning, Commissioners, Town Block, Public Works, and Solid Waste. As mentioned, we are commencing that emergency repair of that culvert up on Fielding Road, and it's anticipated that traffic will be increased quite a bit onto Dundee Lane. So with that being a township road, Soldier Township has made a request that we put up temporary no parking to help traffic flow through that area. So that is what this request is about, and as mentioned in the memo, it will just last for the duration of the project, which it is to be completed by December 9th. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to start answering them.
So this is just until December 9th, and then those signs will be
Then they'll
taken
come
down?
down.
Okay. I'll move to adopt the resolution. Are there questions or a second? to the
Second.
motion? Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E2, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of 5 40-yard metal industrial roll-off waste containers to Waste Equip for an amount of $23,125.
Commissioners, Town Block again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a solid waste item. We've had an increase in customers requesting these large 40-yard industrial waste containers to the point where our inventory was depleted and we need to replace them or at least beef it back up. So we went out for bid for 5 of these large containers. We received like 7 bids. And the lowest bid came in from Waste Equip. We have used their equipment before. They provide very quality containers, so it's our recommendation that the award be given to Waste Equip. This funding would come from the solid waste account, again, which is no tax funds used for that. It's all user fees. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thanks, Tom. Other
Move
questions?
to approve the request.
So motion by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E3, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of a skid steer loader to Victor L. Phillips for an amount of $57,361 from the Special Machinery Fund.
Commissioners, Town Block again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item, and this is in follow-up to approval to go out for bids from the commission back in several months ago. This is one of the capital equipment needs that the department has. When we went out for bids, we received 8 bids, and the lowest bid was the most responsive was submitted by Victor L. Phillips in the amount of $57,361. And it is our recommendation that the award be given to them. The equipment that they have submitted meets all the specifications, and we have worked with Victor L. Phillips, a very reputable company, and the type of equipment they are proposing is a high-quality piece of equipment. So it is our recommendation that this be awarded to Victor L. Phillips.
Thanks, Tom. Any questions for Tom at this time?
Move for approval.
So motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E4, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of a compact excavator to GW Van Keppel for an amount of $95,500 from the Special Machinery Fund.
Commissioners, Town Block, once again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This too is a Public Works item. This is another one of the capital equipment purchases that we have requested to go out for bid. We received 7 bids. There was one bid that was submitted that was actually lower, but the specifications, they proposed a piece of equipment which was much less than what met specifications, so we determined that to be a non-responsive bid. The next lowest bid that met all the specifications was submitted by GW Van Keppel in the amount of $95,500, and the piece of equipment that they are proposing is a very high-quality piece of equipment, so it's our recommendation that this be awarded to Van Keppel. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thanks, Tom.
Move to approve.
So motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E5, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of a street sweeper to Key Equipment for an amount of $178,250 from the Special Machinery Fund.
Commissioners, Town Block again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This too is a Public Works item. This is a vital piece of equipment that we will be needing with our maintenance of now many miles of urban section roadways with storm sewer and gutter and things of that nature, and doing much more need for street sweeping and also an ability to clean out any storm sewers. So we went out for bid for this piece of equipment. We received 4 bids. There was one bid that was about $1,000 less than this. However, that manufacturer is located in Minnesota, and that is the only location that we could get it serviced. And it is our opinion that when we have our first service call, having to bring our piece of equipment all the way to Minnesota as opposed to just Kansas City would eat up any cost by far $1,000 savings. And it's also our understanding that parts for this type of equipment would need to come from overseas. So that could be a big delay. So after reviewing the bids, it was our opinion that the best bid was submitted by Key Equipment in the amount of $178,250. And the piece of equipment that they are proposing is highly recognized and very reputable company. And so it's our recommendation that we award the bid to Key Equipment in that amount. If any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Tom, I know it's kind of odd to think about street sweepers for county roads, but as you indicated, the county does maintain some urban areas. How many street sweepers is this our sole?
This will be our first one.
Okay, so this is our first purchase. And prior to purchase, did we contact the city of Topeka or other municipalities to see if this might be something that could be a shared lease arrangement?
On this particular one, no, we did not. We have utilized them, the city in the past for certain tasks when we need them. The issue there oftentimes comes when we need it, they need it, so the availability isn't always there when we need it.
Okay. And I recognize that our urban area is growing in the county, so I would anticipate that we'll have future needs or increased needs for this type of thing, sweeping. But just our first purchase, and it is rather costly, of $178,000. And so just asking to make sure we've explored all options before we get into the street sweeping business.
Yeah. Good point. Any
So-
further questions or
No.
motion? Do you have a question?
Are you going to make a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second and just point out that I'm happy when you look at long-term cost of any equipment or any expenditure that we would have. So that's a second. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E6, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of a steel drum roller to Victor L. Phillips for an amount of $45,317 from the Special Machinery Fund.
Commissioners, Tom Block, once again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This too is one of the items, capital equipment needs that we have, and we went out for bid for a steel drum roller. This is the type of machinery that we use when we do mill and overlay and replace the asphalt and compact it. It's extremely important piece of equipment. It's much more suitable for the types of work that we do when we do that, the mill and overlay. We did receive 4 bids. 2 of the bids actually came in at a lower price, but there was a very vital specification that they did not meet with horsepower. One of the companies submitted a unit that's about 25% less horsepower than was specified, and the other one was 17% less than what was specified for horsepower. Horsepower is a pretty important component parameter for this type of equipment, so we believe those 2 to be non-responsive in this case. So our recommendation is to go with the one submitted by Victor L. Phillips, an amount of $45,317. Any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thanks, Tom. Any questions about this item?
Move to approve.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item F, Information Technology, number 1. Consider authorization and execution of contract C325-2016 with Imaging Office Systems for an upgrade and migration of the imaging system at a cost of $6,000 from the 2016 Information Technology budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Blender with the Information Technology Department. This item is for assistance with the IT department from Imaging Office Systems to upgrade the imaging system that's used throughout the county by many departments, many different departments. We are asking their assistance in getting that software upgraded and in helping us get that system migrated over to our virtualization platform. Many elements of this system still reside on older platforms, and we're trying to get that wrapped up. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Thanks, Pat. Any questions for Pat?
If I may, Madam Chair, what are the specific applications that we use this for, Pat?
There are quite a few. It depends on the department that's using it. The commission uses it to image the agenda items. We put them into the imaging system, and then it's put it up on the web. Appraiser's office uses it. Treasurer's office uses it. It's just a variety of different departments. Any application that involves converting a document from paper format to a digital format is where we use that. It's extensively used in many different departments.
Very good, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer.
Madam Chair, I'll second, but if we could, Pat, talk about the information technology budget, what this budget is and what we use it for.
The information technology budget.
Yes.
That is the budget for the IT department specifically, and it supports pretty much all of the technology needs throughout the Shawnee County. About the only thing we don't cover are items that are specific to a particular department. Those are typically handled by those departments. But for items that are handled or involve multiple county departments, those are usually included in the Shawnee County IT budget.
Okay. Thank you.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item F2, consider authorization and execution of contract C326-2016 with SideGen for software used in the imaging system at a cost of $2,750 from the 2016 Information Technology budget.
Commissioners, Pat O'Blender again with the IT department. This item is also in conjunction with the upgrade that we're performing on the application extender imaging system. The piece of software here is called SiGen, P-S-I-G-E-N, and it's through a separate company, but we're asking again for the services of Imaging Office Systems to assist in that upgrade. And this is another piece of software that is used to automate the scanning and indexing of documents as they're brought into the imaging system. So again, it's used by multiple departments throughout the county. If you have any questions on that, I'd be happy to answer those.
Questions? I'll move approval of the contract. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item F3, considered authorization and execution of contract C327-2016 with Prestep LLC for annual maintenance of 2 folder sealer units at a cost of $2,081.66 from 2016 information technology budget.
Commissioners, on this item, we are renewing annual maintenance on one of our folder sealer units. This is a unit that's used to fold and seal paper items such as treasurer's checks, voucher checks, etc. Again, multiple departments use this service in IT to get mailings out and to send out paper items. We originally, or traditionally, we've had 2 different companies maintaining 2 of these folder sealer units that we have in our office area. We did a little checking to see what it would cost to have one company cover both of them. And the company that we're dealing with here, Prestec, came back with a suggestion that we cover both of those folder sealer units with their contract, and that would result in an annual savings of about $1,000 between the two platforms. So what we're doing here is we're already under contract for one of the folder sealer units through, I believe, March of next year. This company that we're dealing with said they will cancel that existing contract and then credit us for those remaining months that we've already paid for, and then start a new contract that starts fresh for 1 full year for both of the folder sealer units. So that's the tack that we're taking here to get both folder sealer units covered and at a lower price. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Good deal. Thank you, Pat. I have no questions. I'll move approval of the contract. Is there a question?
I'll second. Does it make sense to look at outside contractors to do this work? At what point do we do that?
It may, but right now it involves a lot of things like treasurer's checks, voucher checks, and those sorts of things that we traditionally do on site due to security concerns. We don't want to send out checks to various and sundry locations and have those printed external. Now there may be ways to do that, and we'll certainly look into those. That is something that we're trying to get into the business of, is getting these things automated and handled through the processes that are the least expensive and most efficient. So we will certainly be looking at that.
Okay, good answer. That was the second.
It's a motion by Commissioner Bueller, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks,
Thank you,
Pat.
Commissioner.
Item G, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence regarding purchase of 2 2017 police package Chevy Tahoes from Don Hatton Chevrolet on state contract for $83,902.70 for use by reserve officers, be paid for the 2016 Sheriff Reserve Officers Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Hood with the Sheriff's Office.
Good morning.
This is 2 new Tahoes for the reserve officers. We have currently 9 reserve officers. 4 of them are currently in training. We just recently renewed a contract with the Sherwood neighborhood that the reserves provide extra patrol in that neighborhood. That neighborhood subsequently funds the reserve officer fund, which they use to buy equipment, vehicles, etc. These vehicles, just to relate back to the other Tahoes that we have went out and purchased this year, the cost is higher for these 2 vehicles, and I want to point that out just to make sure everybody's clear. We did that with full understanding that these vehicles will come pre-wired and pre-equipped with everything but a light bar, and we're hoping that that will greatly reduce the amount of man hours that we put upfitting these vehicles, getting them ready to go out and be put into use. So hopefully our turnaround time will be great, will be lessened quite a bit. So I'll be happy to stand for any questions.
Thank you. Other questions for Captain Hoodler? Commissioner Archer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could you explain how this Reserve Officers Fund operates, how it's funded, what it's used for? Is it, I assume it's isolated from other accounting in the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, it's a completely separate account. Most of the funding comes from the Sherwood neighborhood. They provide, we sign a contract with them, the reserves sign a contract with them to provide extra patrol in that specific neighborhood. And the reserve officers go out and put in over 100 hours a month in that particular neighborhood. And for that, they subsequently contract with us for $2,550 a month that comes back into the Reserve Officers Fund. And those dollars are only expended to help equip and outfit just the reserve officers. Doesn't have any effect on the regular officers at the Sheriff's Office. I hope that answered your question.
Are there any other neighborhoods that,
Not currently, there are not, sir.
okay, so this is specifically for Lake Sherwood?
The fund, the $2,550, yes.
So,
Thank you.
follow-up question, just since Sherwood is a special
District.
improvement district, so they have the ability to levy taxes on their district. And
That-
so,
yes.
so does this kind of purchase go through the board there as well, or not? It's through a contract?
It's just, it
Okay.
is just through the Board of County Commissioners.
Okay, all right.
One other question. What's the balance in that account right now?
$144,000 approximately.
All right, thank you. Further questions?
I mean, I would move to acknowledge.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook
Second.
and second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item H, Human Resources. Number 1, consider approval of a 5% increase in the employee contribution rate for the health benefit plan for 2017.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowell, Human Resources Director. This item follows our discussion on Monday of the health plan, wherein Board of County Commissioners set the employer contribution rate 12% higher from $600 a month per employee to $672. This piece is the other part of it, which is to discuss what to do with employee contribution rates. I'm proposing, after meeting with the Health and Wellness Committee, a 5% increase in the employee contribution rate. We haven't had an increase for the employee-only portion since 2012. We haven't had an increase for the other sections, employee, spouse, child, family, since 2010. This is due to the 12% projection, and it's necessary to keep us in line with the projection or the projected costs for the plan. We don't like to increase these rates for employees, but we think it's the responsible thing to do to stay ahead of what the trends appear to be, or where they're going with healthcare costs. You also asked me on Monday to provide a comparison between our plan costs, City of Topeka's plan costs, and state plans. I tried to find the most comparable I could. Each plan is different. Each plan has different deductibles and coinsurance and copay rates. I've listed what I think are the most comparable plans for each of those entities, and I think it shows favorable to Shawnee County. I haven't listed those to poke the city or the state in the eye. They are experiencing what most plans are experiencing. We're doing relatively well compared to most. We've had anecdotal evidence over the years that our plan for our employees is relatively cheaper compared to others. We've all heard stories. I think Tom has told me one about an employee who left to go to a private company only to come back when he got his paycheck. His wage was more, but after health insurance came back, his bottom line was less than his paycheck. So we've heard that over the years. We've always been able to say, well, we pay a little bit less, but our health plan is better. Now, after the CBIZ compensation study, we're paying market rates. We're hoping that we can keep the plan healthy like this and stay competitive in the market for employees. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about this item, and also discuss open enrollment that's starting next week.
Thanks, Jim. Any questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Jim, can we get this out to all of our department heads? I know all the department heads receive the agenda, and I'm sure that newspaper will report about it, but just as you gave the example with the employee who left, if there was an employee who was looking to go to work for a different agency for what they perceive to be more money, just making sure people understand, don't look at just the hourly rate, but look at the cost of your benefits. And I mean, it's just staggering when you look at the difference between an employee plus children across the board. You have such a wide variance in those numbers, and where our plan can be half or even just a fraction of what other plans might be. And so thank you for putting this together. It does show where we rank with other plans.
Our employees should be commended. I mean, they make up the plan, and our costs are related to, directly to what the employees use. So, kudos to our employees.
Commissioner Archer?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. All insurance is based on experience in the insured group, and our employees have had, it's been a culture of health. They've been conscientious about using the health benefits, and that's the result, is it keeps costs down. So I appreciate your bringing that up. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Just a couple follow-up questions, Jim. So one might ask, why are we increasing 5% at all? I mean, kind of talk about the balance of our fund and that sort of thing.
We have, over the last few years, increased the balance. You can call it a reserve, whatever you want to call it. We're not quite at the level that we would like it to be going forward.
Okay.
That coupled with the 12% projection, we didn't propose 12% for the
Right.
employee side of it, but we do think something is probably in order to keep pace with that projection. If we have a good year, then we can take a look at that. But we need to have these rates follow along with the performance of the plan.
Okay. And then the other thing too is, I know you had mentioned to me the city of Topeka has kind of two pieces to their plan where if you enroll in a wellness type program, can you kind of expand upon that?
They have 4 tiers to their plan.
Okay.
2 of them deal with a wellness incentive. If you agree to be a part of their wellness program, this is my understanding of it.
Okay.
Then you pay obviously lower rates. And you can have an entry-level plan, or you can have a Cadillac plan, a better plan. And then they have the same 2 tiers without being a part of the wellness plan that's higher. That'll be something we will be looking at,
Okay.
wellness options and incentives and all of those things going forward.
Okay, good, thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
And again, the impact to the employees, if you were an employee only with a 5% increase, it's a net increase of $1.
Yes.
And I think it's just important to note that 5%, the impact for an employee only is $1, and that's per pay period or per month?
That's the monthly amount.
So $12 for the year.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone wanting to speak on this item, please come forward at this time. I'll move to approve the 5% increase.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners, and I'll just note that open enrollment begins next week on November 8th, runs through the 15th. Employees can enroll online or meet with staff to do that in person if they feel more comfortable doing that, or if they want to look at maybe possibly starting some benefits they haven't started yet. Those locations are posted. I've emailed out the locations and the dates for those open enrollment sessions in person. They can also do it online, and then we would send paperwork to them if there were any changes made online to sign. And anytime there's questions about any of the process, they can contact Human Resources.
Great, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. I just want to take an opportunity to, again, advertise that the Salute Our Heroes Festival and the Military Parade, or the Veterans Parade is going on this weekend from 9 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon. They have some other associated fun items, bounce house, motorcycle and car show, food trucks, all that kind of stuff going on down in that Capitol Plaza area as well. So come out, it's supposed to be really nice weather, about high as 70s. So far, no rain, so I'd like to see everybody out.
Parade starts at 11?
Parade starts at 11.
Okay. All right, good deal. Thank you, Dusty.
Commissioners, Tom Block, from Public Works, as always, I have a few items I want to discuss. One, just give you an update on Auburn Road Mill and Overlay. That work is completed. However, today we'll be doing the striping, so we will have some traffic control out there today. That effort should only take an hour or two, so it won't be all day. But so as of today, that should all be completed. Also, we'll be commencing our last mill and overlay work, which is just a small section near 61st and Burlingame Road by the KTA Bridge. We got notified just a couple days ago that Bettis, who's doing the milling for us, wanted to get started this week. So they are starting on that today. Then our crews will come in. We have a little bit of drainage work to do. That should be done by middle of next week. So it's just a short, and we'll have traffic control there. There's no detours that will be needed. Also, Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, so we'll be having a household hazardous waste collection event at our household hazardous waste facility from 9 to noon, and that facility is located at 131 Northeast 46th Street. Again, it's free to county residents for disposal of old paints, oils, pesticides, herbicides, light bulbs, batteries, all kinds of cleaning products, things of that nature. And then also next week, being the week of Veterans Day, I wanted to announce the solid waste collection schedule. This is a little bit different. Most holiday weeks, it seems like we push everyone's collection day back a day. I want to make sure, hopefully get this word out to as many people. With it being on Friday, we are actually going to be moving people's collection day up a day. So if you moved it back a day and you missed, you call and say, well, you leave it out tomorrow and we'll get it. Next week, that won't be the case because we will have them by your place before we put it out. So this is the collection schedule for next week. Monday and Tuesday, the customers will not see any change. Wednesday customers will be moved up to Tuesday. Thursday customers will be moved up to Wednesday. And Friday customers will be moved up to Thursday. So, like I said, it's a little different. We won't be coming back again if it's not there on the day you pick up. So, and I've sent this out to the media, so hopefully it will get put out on Channel 4. Also on the Nextdoor app. City Speaker works really does a lot of favors for us, and they put this on the Nextdoor app if anyone's signed up for that. And we'll also get it out to the media outlets. So hopefully everyone will be aware, but this is, like I said, a little different than it being on a Friday.
Yeah,
all right.
Good to know. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rich Eckert, County Councilor. I really go to the podium and speak about things that were in the media, but the paper on Tuesday had an article about the Expo Center and the Federal Offender Halfway House, and an allegation was made that we're seeking to drive down the price of a property in order to buy it. Now, the thought of putting such a place next to an event center like the Expo Center should be ludicrous on its face, and one should not have to explain their intentions. However, I will explain one thing about this article. The article quoted the person who's trying to put in, or actually the owner of the facility, showing that our 2011 strategic plan for the Expo Center did include RV parking to be in that area, and that's true. However, in 2016 dollars, the cost of the strategic plan was $65 million. Okay, that strategic plan is the Christmas list of the 6-year-old child who gets everything. And the truth of the matter is, we're going to have to cut $20 million from that strategic plan. So that's one of the very easiest and first things to cut would be the acquisition of the real estate between Western and Fillmore. Quite frankly, we have larger concerns, like what we're going to do with our convention center, exhibition hall. That's also something that's on the table, and it's something that we drastically need to do. So as far as buying new real estate, that's probably not going to be a concern with the $45 million. And as a matter of fact, if we did have money to buy property, that wouldn't even be the one we would target. There are 4 houses on 5 lots at 17th Street on Western, and those are what we need. If I had to rank those in order, oddly enough, those houses are appraised somewhere in the mid-20s, and a family used to call H.R. Cook and myself about once a year and offer us the house at $80,000. So we'll have to deal with that down the road anyway. But I did want to come to the podium and explain that, that there are several things that are in that plan that are not going to happen just as a result of the budget that we have.
Right.
And property acquisition is probably the very first thing that gets cut. So I did want to come to the podium and explain that. If you have any questions about the article or anything else about this project, I'll be glad to help at this time.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it. Rich, while you're up there, though, the Shawnee County delegation is meeting fairly soon, correct, to discuss legislative issues?
I believe November 28th. They sent an email out, and I sent it down to Jane. So, I think that's the day that they're doing that.
Can you look at the calendar and see when we probably need to get, we might have that discussion at the department head meeting, add that, and
Right.
then get that on the agenda
Well-
so the commission can have discussion too before you go forward.
Sure, we'll do that. Some of that work is already done because we had to present the legislative list to KAC to help with their platform. So it might be a bit duplicative, but absolutely.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
November 29th at 1:30 is the Shawnee County delegation.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Great, thank you. Yes.
I did want to thank you for bringing some facts to the table, and I thought it was interesting that a real estate investor would accuse the county commission of trying to maximize profits. I hope you can see the irony and the humor in that. So, thank you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
I thought about that joke, but I couldn't figure out a way to pull that off. The problem is it's not a joke. It's
Exactly.
Good deal, thanks. Anyone else for administrative communications?
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Gregory with the Kansas Expo Center. Would just like to highlight our upcoming next 2 weeks. Starting off with the event we were selected to host last night. There was a young lady involved in a car wreck here recently, and the equine community and the school community that she attended came together and put on a barrel race last night. There was approximately 750 people there in Dome Arena, and they raised over $10,000 for the young lady last night. So it was an honor to host that type of event for a cause like that. Moving forward, Friday night begins the first round of the United Rodeo Association Rodeo Finals in Dome Arena. Second round is Saturday night, and the final championship round is Sunday at noon. So if you're looking for some good, very economical family entertainment this weekend, rodeo times are at 7, and at noon on this weekend. And then as we do at the Expo Center on a regular basis, we completely change gears, and the Demo Derby comes to town on Monday. So you're going to go from seeing cowboy hats and big horse trailers to demo cars, and we're very excited about that. We have actually 5 demo performances this year, Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And just a heads up, if you are wanting to attend the Saturday performance of the Demo Derby, get your tickets early, and because it will sell out. Last year was the first event we had sold out in Landon Arena, I believe, since Carrie Underwood. So, yes, in the next 2 weeks, you will see a lot of activity at the Kansas Expo Center on both ends of the spectrum. I'd like to feel free to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. One last item. I just got notified. They're working on the siren at 17th and Gage at Whitson Elementary. If you happen to hear it go off, it's just a test. So since I had the media here, I wanted to make sure I got that out.
Okay, thanks. And Jeff, is this the last time that you're going to be with us? Okay, good. All right. Commissioners, any items for administrative communications?
Madam
No?
Chair.
Commissioner Cook?
Saturday night is the 4-H Achievement Night. And I look forward to seeing all the work that the 4-Hers have put into the community and into their progress and leadership skills. And so just, we also have to salute our heroes, as the emergency management director talked about the parade Saturday morning. So Saturday's a busy day.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Commissioner Archer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just to follow up, I'm hearing from a lot of my constituents that are opposed to the halfway house by our expo center. They keep talking about it's our marquee attraction in our community. They talk about it's our community meeting place, and everything I'm hearing is opposed to the halfway house being there. So that's it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I do not have anything to add, because I know we're kind of up against a deadline with our department head meeting, but next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
And I do not believe there's a need for an executive session. So we are adjourned. We'll take a 5-minute break and then come back and have the department head meeting starting at 10.